Greetings everyone, Jake Bernstein, Weekly Capital Markets Report. Trading lesson, Monday, January 21st at 9:05 a.m. in Santa Cruz, California. Apologies for the voice, it is slowly returning. Slowly but surely. I feel good, I sound bad, but don't worry about that. I will get there. Let's talk about today's trading lesson. It's a pragmatic lesson. One of the biggest issues that traders have is which contract to use in futures. In stocks, there's no problem because stocks are continuous, but futures have an ending date, and that ending date can cause a lot of problems for people because they don't know which symbol to use. As an example, if I go to the symbols in the gold, looking at the left, I have a number of choices. I can use pit trading, electronic trading, electronic day hours only, pit plus electronics. I can use the 057 contract, 56 contract, 55 contract, or I can back adjust and use the 67 contracts. What to do? Here are the answers that I use. Number one, some strategies work really well only in the day session. In that case, I would be using electronic day hours, GC1. That means that the strategies will only be useful during the day trading hour sessions, which are indicated in the exchange rules or on Genesis. You will not be looking at the overnight data. This is a really good thing for people who only wish to trade during the day session and have their indicators show only for the day session. Otherwise, you would use GC3, GC2, or GC1. I do not use the pit trading. The pit trading is practically gone. Almost everything now is transacted electronically or reported electronically. So you can use the GC3 or the GC2, which are pit electronics. So those are the two choices that I have right there. Unless, of course, you're trading only during the day session and you want your indicators only to reflect what happens during the day session. Now comes the question, which one of these to use? As I said, in stocks it's not an issue. The contract data is available all the way to the beginning of that particular stock. You don't have to be switching. In futures is a pain in the you-know-what. So what to do? You have three choices. First of the month, expiration, or most liquid, and this applies to charts that carry over, so if you want a continuous stream of data. So, let's say that you're in a position, and we come to the first notice day, the day after which you don't want to be in the market anymore. You have no choice but to switch. Unfortunately, or to get out. Unfortunately, sometimes you want to stay in a position because you're in a good move. The best thing to do is to use the 057 contract, which is the most liquid, which means that the chart for that contract will change when the volume rolls from the first contract month to the next month, which is the most liquid. However, what do you do pragmatically? I prefer to get out of the trade, look at the next contract, and see if the signal which got me into that trade originally is still valid on the new contract. And if it is, I'll switch over and use the appropriate stop loss and profit targets. Think about what I said. But now it's another issue. What about continuous data? And let me show you what I mean. If I click over here on back adjust, I will get a whole new set of symbols. 067, 66, or 65. What does that mean? Back adjusted. Here's what it means. And it's something to be very careful of. When a contract ends, and you pick up with a chart on the new contract, so you have a continuous data history, sometimes, in fact many times, the price at which the next contract is trading is significantly different than what the initial contract is trading at. If you roll over, many times there will be a gap in the charts, which will affect the indicators. And so, the data vendors have invented what they think is an ingenious way to overcome that problem by taking that gap, removing it from the chart, by adjusting the prices going backwards, which means that the prices that you show going backwards will not necessarily reflect what the real prices were. This is a significant issue, particularly in backtesting intermediate-term systems, because you get results which may not reflect what really happened because of the back adjustment. That's something to consider very seriously in looking at long-term strategies. For shorter-term strategies which only trade within the time length of a particular contract, that is not an issue. Typically, most people use the 067 contract for backtesting long-term data and long-term trading strategies. So that does it. 057 or 067. 067 for weekly charts and research and trading strategies. 057 for everyday trading. But here's the thing. Decisions using my trading strategies must be made on the actual contract month. Therefore, if you're looking at gold, let's say GC3-2019-02, the chart you use if you want a continuous picture will be 057. The decisions were made on the contract 2019-03. Think about that. If it's still confusing to you, let me know and I'll cover this more frequently. Now, I've had a lot of requests for things to cover on these lessons. I can't do them all because the lessons are brief. I like to keep them short and sweet. If you have a specific request, let me know, and I'll take the majority of requests and do a recording for you. Thanks again for being here. I'm Jake at trade-futures.com.